that gives it a really, wow, tongue-tied. Hi and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben and this is my review for Apple's original animated movie called Luck.
Und steil, yeah, steil. Go.
Let me know in the comments below, have you heard about this one? Was this on your radar? I had only seen a teaser and so I kind of went into this afresh. Let's talk about it. Curtain is pulled back on the millennia-old battle between the organizations of good luck and bad luck that secretly affects everyday lives. From the choreographer of Hocus Pocus, Peggy Holmes directs a cornucopia of really interesting cast. Eva Noblezada, I probably just decimated her name, Noblezada. Let's just call her Eva. Plays Sam Greenfield, who is our main protagonist. She's an orphan and she eventually teams up with Bob the cat, who's voiced by Simon Pegg. We have Jane Fonda, who is a dragon, Whoopi Goldberg, who is the captain, and my favorite, Fula Borg, who is Jeff the unicorn, who I just absolutely adore in anything that he's in, especially when he's doing voice work.
Mighty leprechaun, Fräulein. Well done, nature.
Comes to the animation itself, it's from Skydance, and I think the animation has this eclectic way of showing that it is an animated film, so you know what you're watching because you're watching an animated film, but there's a realistic look to it as well. If you look at pieces of the humans, like their hands, you'll see crease marks on their fingers, and there's moments like that, a really realistic feel to it because it's very real in terms of how the character designs is, but still manages to keep that, I guess, that animation style, the vibrancy with the characters, the fantasy characters that you get. I like that a lot. Now when it comes down to the story, I think it has an emotional punch but doesn't quite hit home for me with those like Wall-E, Inside Out. Those left me kind of with tears in my eyes and a gulp in my throat. It didn't quite hit that home, but then not every film needs to enjoy that. I do think this is a great 2 hours of escapism adventure that the whole family is going to enjoy because, again, like with Pixar films, this animation film manages to have a few comedy jokes in there for the kids that are going to laugh their heads off and the adults. I think there's a mixture there that people are going to enjoy. When it comes to the story, it's all about our main protagonist here, who is an orphan. She meets up with Bob the cat, and their camaraderie together is what keeps you glued to the screen. The fantasy, the story, you know, all that comes second. When it comes to them being on screen together, it's great. As shenanigans happen, things go wrong. There wouldn't be much of a story if things didn't go wrong, and we see how they try to fix the mistakes they make. Also, your characters are going to go through that classic learning things. You know, they need to learn things about themselves to better themselves, and then we get to the end where there's the moral of the story. And I really appreciated the moral of the story with this one. The first 20 minutes of this film really takes its time to set up the story. Not that it's boring, but it gives us some character moments, and then we get into that fantasy luck land, which reminded me a lot of the Santa Claus movie. You know, when you watch it the first time, the kids arrive in, you know, Santa's grotto, and you see how everything works in the warehouse, that, you know, the little nitty grits of the machines and the mechanics, how it actually gets all the presents out there. That is very reminiscent of this film when it comes to how luck gets out there to individuals around the world and how they mix it, the good and bad luck, and why we need that. And that all comes into play as part of the major arc of the story. And there's some interesting characters. Whoopi Goldberg as voicing her captain is great. Jane Fonda as the dragon is perfect. The character designs are great. There's two kind of character design levels in the fantasy world, with the good side and the bad side. I preferred the bad side. I thought they were really interesting and more funny. I like the look and feel and tone of that. But when you get to the end, I feel like you're going to have enjoyed and not felt like you've wasted 2 hours of your life. I don't think this one's going to stay too much in your mind, although I think kids will love watching it 2 or 3 times. I think you'll enjoy it for what it was. It's a great one-time watch, but it's not going to be one that I gravitate towards going back to really often. For me, other films that I've seen that have been this escapism adventure films, like Sony's Mitchells vs. the Machines, that one had a great story, emotional punch, characters learning, and it still is one that you could go back to right now and enjoy it as much. I'm not saying that this is bad, I'm just saying that it's not quite up there for me. It's an interesting one. I enjoyed it. I love the characters. I laughed. I thought Simon Pegg was great. He generally is when it comes to that sort of comedic tones, those moments of delivering dialogue in a really great way, just didn't quite have that punch I was looking for. But that's just me. Maybe you loved it and you will be watching it on repeat. Let me know once you've seen it. I'm eager to hear your thoughts down below. Let me know in the last couple of years, what has been your kind of top 3 favorite animated films? I'd love to know. Kind of rank them from, you know, worst to best or best to worst, however you want to do it. Mitchell's versus the Machines is right up there for me, probably at number 1. But the risks some of the animators are willing to do with series like Love, Death and Robots, or even the latest Spider-Man Into the Verse film, you know, those are all very interesting, unique ones. I kind of wanted that for this. I wanted to see something different, unique, apart from the realistic nature looking of, you know, the hand designs, the facial designs, making them feel like it's more tangible, more real. What you get here is your kind of standard characters learning something. I still enjoyed it. I feel like I'm coming down hard, and I'm not. I really enjoyed it. I thought the characters were great. I thought the score was fantastic. 4 Nicolas Cages out of 5. Don't forget, the Ruby Tuesday has loads of anime world cinema coming weekly. We will be reviewing The Sandman. We're going through that at the moment. That'll be dropping on Friday morning. That's when the embargo is. There's a couple of other bigger titles coming this week as well. Bullet Train that we'll be getting to. But as always, we're still doing the anime reviews and the world cinema that are also coming this week, so keep it here. Don't forget, we have the podcast and Patreon. Check out our collaboration with Movie and Munchies that we do every week. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget, we have 2 other videos for you to watch, one over here and one over here. But most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.